Hello, class. My name is Jake, and I'm the leader of the week for week one. So I'm going to share a story about my workplace experience with communication, good communication, bad communication, especially with the COVID-19. So I'm going to give you a little backstory of the before times, back when we were in the office as of last year. We used to be able to turn to the next person, and go, "Hey, did you hear about so and so?" Or, "Hey, did you hear about that?" Kind of you got to talk to each other and physically see what they were saying instead of just looking for mass email. And you also could get up and get yourself some water over at the water cooler and talk with the other people in other departments that you don't normally get to see or and talk to, and kind of get the scuttlebutt from them. And at lunch, and you also at lunchtime, you can always sit with the other coworkers and just kind of talk with them, just get to know each other. But ever since the whole COVID-19, it kind of changed everything because when we were in the office, we would be able to have meetings like every Tuesday and Thursday, that we would just take 15 minutes of getting up, get off our desks, walk over to the meeting area, sit down, kind of have our own little ritual of just sitting there doing that. Then we'd get up and go back to work. Now, with the whole COVID situation, it changes how we can do things. When we first got to the work from home, we were using Skype to get in contact with each other, and it turned into Teams, Microsoft Teams, and it runs a little bit more efficiently. Then we did our meetings with WebEx, and WebEx is just a disaster. And now we do Zoom calls and Zoom conferences, and it's kind of nice. You get to see the faces and kind of be able to feel like have some of the communication of like personal kind of communication with body language. Like I like to use my hands to talk, and I can't really demonstrate that with worded email. Another thing is I have a couple coworkers who are very sarcastic, so you kind of have to tell by their face if they're being serious or if they're just being sarcastic. Um, it's not just saying that the are lacking with the whole change. It's just evolving with the change and adapting. So we are kind of coming up with ways to adapt with it, like with the emoji. Like whenever someone's doing something sarcastic with in the group chat, they would use an emoji just to prove, like, hey, kind of like a hieroglyphic, like, hey, this means I'm being funny. Like it's kind of a de-evolution of language at the same time, but an evolution in its own way too. Um, it's been kind of one of those challenges that if you're a personal person and you like face-to-face conversations, it does get a little bit more difficult with it being a chain email that feels very impersonable, rather than turning around going, "Hey, how are you doing, buddy?" Like that's a change. It's not really a failure of skill. It's a change that needs to with change it comes over time. It was a drastic quick one, so there's a learning curve. But nowadays, it's been a year. It feels like everyone's caught on, got a little bit better. Emails are just a lot more quicker, not these big chain ones, and so impersonal. Now it's kind of gotten a little bit more personable, and you kind of get more jokes in with the Zoom meetings and kind of setting up new kind of communication skills with that. So it's a always changing environment, and just kind of have fun with it.